Hey everybody, it's Tim Moore with the Bulwark. Jean Carroll was on CNN this morning and made a point that is so important that I just wanted to highlight it here for y'all. Let's take a quick look. Here she is on CNN New Day with Robbie Kaplan, who I did a great interview with, by the way, that's right here on this feed and is just taken off. So if you've missed that, go check it out. But here's Jean Carroll and her lawyer, Robbie Kaplan, talking about the experience of taking on Trump and how it matched against what her expectations for that experience were.
I hadn't seen him since he assaulted me in the dressing room. And preparing to see him was terrifying. The days leading up, as Robbie brought me around stronger and stronger, it was so, I hadn't slept, I hadn't eaten, I couldn't think, I lost my language when she was trying to prepare me to go to do testimony in front of Donald Trump. And then when we were in the courtroom and Robbie went to the lectern, she said, "Good morning, Eugene. Please state your name and spell it for the jury, for the court." And there he was, and he was nothing. He was just no power. He was zero. That was it. I was flabbergasted. And from then we just sailed through. She brought me in. She said, "Say your name." And I just looked at Robbie, saw he was nothing, and it came up from there.
Did you make eye contact with him?
Many times.
And what was that like?
He's an emperor without clothes. It's like looking at nothing. It was like nothing.
Were you surprised by that? Because the environment, no, I can imagine, but the environment, not just from what you went through, but also the environment in that courtroom was a very different, very volatile, very heated environment in terms of both Donald Trump's attorney and Donald Trump. For it to end up like that, were you surprised?
Yes, I had been prepared for the worst force, on the earth today, the most powerful, the most effective, the most money, the richest, the most, and there he is, he's nothing.
Why?
It's just the people around him who give him the power. It's the emperor without clothes. It's Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale. People just gave him clothes when he wasn't wearing any. Remember the fairy tale? So that's Donald Trump.
This is so insightful. She'd been prepared for the worst force on earth. And there's something to that, right? We've talked a lot about Me Too and how I think that there's real legitimate fear for women coming forward. I'm so happy that there have been brave women like Eugene that have stepped forward and spoken out against Trump. A lot of victims don't do that because they're worried about what's going to come. They're worried about the storm and the fury coming from the person that committed this harassment or committed this assault or committed this rape against them. And in this case, that person is a former president with a huge megaphone and a scary reputation for taking out opponents, for insulting them. But what Jean Carroll found out was that if you actually stand up to Trump, if you actually point your finger in his face and say, "No, you are the weak one. You are the one that committed the crime. You are the fraudster. You are the liar," he crumbles. He crumbles. As she said, he is the emperor without clothes. And I think that this is so often the case. And as we look ahead to 2024, the reason that we are in this shitty situation where somebody that attempted a coup is back again, risen from the dead, to become the Republican nominee almost certainly, and that our country and our democracy is on the knife's edge. The whole reason for that is because of a lot of cowardly Republicans mostly, and a lot of cowardly elites, political elites, that did not have the gumption to do what Jean Carroll did. That did not just say, "You know what, I'm not scared of you anymore, Donald." Had 10 more Republican senators said that after he incited an attack on their office, had 10 more Republican senators said, "I'm not scared of you anymore, Donald. You're the emperor with no clothes," and voted to convict him for the obvious crimes he committed that day, we wouldn't be here. had his opponents in the Republican primary, had Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley and others said, starting last midterms, we're not scared of you. We're not going to run a campaign where we're, shaking in our boots anytime we have to criticize you. And every criticism of you has to be a bank shot criticism because we don't want a mean tweet back at us. We don't want you to call us a nickname. Had they run an actual campaign to try to take him down, to try to take him on, maybe we wouldn't be here today. And you could go over and over again. It can be a criticism of the media. I think a big reason why January 6th happened was because media executives were too scared to call the race for Joe Biden quickly when it was very clear that Joe Biden was going to win by the day after the election. But they let Donald Trump seed his lies.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
It was during that period that the whole Stop the Steal movement congealed and started.
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration. All right, we're ready.
We could go down the list. Even Merrick Garland. It took him 3 years to start investigating Trump. Maybe we wouldn't be here. E. Jean Carroll didn't do that. She took him on. She took the risk. She took the risk to her reputation. She took the risk. She overcame fear of being prepared for the worst force on earth. And she took him out. Now he's going to have to pay her $83.3 million. And I think that there's a lot to learn from that as we look ahead to November. This guy is not invincible. He is not the worst force on earth. He's a little whiny baby. And if people were more willing to take him on directly, then maybe we wouldn't be here. And this is the year to finally finish him off once and for all. So anyway, I wanted to share that little snippet from Jean Carroll because I thought it was so insightful and so important. We'll be back here for more as news breaks over the week. Peace. Hey, if you like this video and our content, I'd love for you to become a Bulwark Plus member. You get bonus podcasts, you get bonus newsletters, you get bonus takes from me that maybe don't come up on the YouTube feed. You can try it out for free at thebulwark.com/free trial. The link is below in the description. We'd love to have you as a member of our community. We have great commenters and great opportunities for people who want to protect democracy.